Oh, sorry, it's Southampton hosting Manchester United, and that is going to be played at the St. Mary's Stadium, a stadium that capacitates 32,384 people. And we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. Juma Karim, and welcome back from the mosque in there for you. So smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. And we are here to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as Manchester United is concerned. Early kickstarter tomorrow. United gonna be playing away at Southampton, and we all know what we need. This is a must-win game for the club of Manchester United, because when you look at what we have right now, obviously Manchester United needs to obviously come into the mix to obviously win this beautiful game of football. When you look at the Premier League table, Manchester United is placed 14th, 3 games played, goal difference of -3, and you're having 3 points. Southampton has played 3 games. They've gone ahead to really concede 5 goals, and they've scored 1. That is Southampton. 3 losses, and they are placed into the 19th position, meaning that we are really having a chance to obviously see ourselves go up to the 8th or 7th position, depending on the number of goals we'll score tomorrow, if at all we beat Southampton, and see ourselves really getting into the winning ways. And for Manchester United, we last played in the Premier League and we lost to Liverpool by 3-0 in a game, all in an encounter that was really very, 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 very bad, where Casemiro found himself exposed, and a lot really went ahead to happen into that side. So that is Casemiro for you. So this time around, we're waiting to see whether Erik ten Hag is going to be starting Casemiro or not. And for Southampton, they've lost their previous 3 encounters. Right. When we go to Manchester United, the absentees are Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, Rasmus Højlund. You can talk about Mason Mount is also out. Rasmus Højlund is out. Who else? Let me check here on the list. Rasmus Højlund, Luke Shaw, Lenny Yoro, right? Tyrell Malacia, Victor Lindelof, Mason Mount, and Rasmus Højlund. Those are the players that are really going to be missing out in action. Now, for Southampton, they are still having to cope without long-term absentee Bazunu, who is having an Achilles injury. Aaron Ramsdale is going to be available, and Khaled Sulemana is also out with an injury. And Ben Breton Diaz went ahead, obviously, get what we call an early withdrawal in the Chile national team as they played on Tuesday. And Adam Armstrong, obviously, is also going to see himself available. So the rest of the players are really available, but Bazunu, Kamaladan Sulemana, and Ben Breton Diaz are those people or players that are really totally out into the mix. And that's what we are really looking at the club of Southampton as with the people that support Manchester United. Now, from that, we obviously go into the predicted starting 11 for the club of Manchester United in a game that is a must-win, I tell you, because Manchester United needs to rise up to the occasion and win this game. Because if we don't beat a team like Southampton, I tell you, very many people are really going to be raising questions on as to whether Erik ten Hag is the man set for the job. And with Manuel Ugarte coming in through, I tell you, I see United finding themselves in a position of obviously putting in a shift that will take us to the well-desired win for this club of Manchester United. Now, let's go to the predicted starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. Now, the system is 4-2-3-1. You all know that. No doubts about it. It's a 4-2-3-1 system for the club of Manchester United. And we get straight into the pitch. And we all know to it that Andre Onana, having gone ahead, obviously keep 2 clean sheets for the side of Cameroon as they played against Zimbabwe and Namibia. He's really going to stay into the stitches or in between the stitches for the club of Manchester United. That is Andre Onana. For you, no doubt about him. We all believe in him, and I know he's really making some good efforts. And you never know, he might keep a clean sheet in this game. Then on the right side, he returned after playing for Morocco very, very, very okay. That is Mazrui, and he's here to play onto the right side of the fullback of Manchester United. Left back, he scored in the game they played against Scotland. I think that was it was on Scotland. Darlow went ahead to score and really put in a very beautiful shift, and I think he's going to be played as a left back, as the manager confirmed us that there is no reason to hurry Luke Shaw, and there is no reason to hurry Luke Shaw back and a player called Malacia, So Darlow remains into that position. Onto the right back for the club of Manchester United, obviously it's really gonna be the man himself known as Matthias de Ligt. I know he went ahead, obviously put out 2 errors as he played in the international break, but for me I believe Erik ten Hag knows to it that what is affecting the lad is lack of ample playing time, and in the due course of lacking ample playing time, you have to obviously get him onto the pitch to really become physically fit. For Harry Maguire, I think we'll start in the midweek as playing the Carabao Cup because that's where he belongs, but in the Premier League it should be Matthias de Ligt alongside Lisandro Martinez, left-sided centre-back. And for Lisandro Martinez, he has shown us that he's really fit, because for the very first time ever since we got that metatarsal injury and returned last season, he has gone ahead to play very many games. Remember, they brought him in when you're playing Arsenal. He played against Newcastle. He played against Brighton. He played against Man City. Then after playing those 4 games that led us to the end of the season, Lisandro Martinez went ahead to play, I think, 7 games in the Copa America, And after playing those 7 games, you add them to the 4, those are 11. And now he has found himself in a position. By the way, there are 2 friendlies that he played. Those are 13 games, and ever since he played the 13 games, he has gone ahead to play into the Community Shield, right? Then he played 3 games. Those are 4. And he has gone ahead to play 5. So he has put in 7 games, meaning that he has gone ahead to play close to 20 games ever since he returned from that metatarsal injury. You understand? And that is really great. Metatarsal, then he found himself really getting, was it any injury? You remember when that player of West Ham went ahead, obviously cost him a season. That is Lisandro Martinez for you. So he's really physically fit, and if at all they can make a very good centre-back partnership with Matthias de Ligt, that will obviously give us a very huge run in winning these games as you await for the player called Lenny Yoro to return to see to it that Harry Maguire becomes fourth fiddle, and these 3 guys tussle it out for those positions. Into the midfield, the big question is should the manager start Casemiro or Manuel Ugarte? For me, I think the chapter of Casemiro starting at the club of Manchester United should be closed. And with effect from the game of Southampton, it should be Manuel Ugarte playing as the CDM for the club of Manchester United. I think his chapter should be closed. In the midweek, we are playing in the Carabao Cup, and I think the guy can come in through and obviously start and really play into that game. But Manuel Ugarte should get straight into the team of Manchester United, alongside who? Alongside the man himself known as Kobbie Mainoo. And I've gone ahead to look at very many pundits coming and say it should be Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte. No way. We don't have a player who plays like Kobbie Mainoo. And at Manchester United, we don't have a player who plays like Manuel Ugarte. They are 2 players with different qualities that they hold by themselves. No other player holds those qualities, I tell you. And when you look at that double pivot, it is really very good, and it's really moving on as planned. So that is Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte into the mix. So those 2 are really going to be giving us a very good vibe that can take us to where we all want to be. That is the side of Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte. So after that, we will see the man himself known as Bruno Fernandes playing ahead of them. That is it, playing as a central attacking midfielder. He was really in blistering form when he was playing for the side of Portugal. In the first game they played, he created an assist. Second game, he really scored a goal that leveled after Scott McTominay had gone ahead to put Scotland ahead. So he's really in good form, and if I really can transfer that form into this game, it is really going to do us wonders. And I believe that the coming in of Manuel Ugarte is going to give him a lot of liberty and freedom to operate, not worrying about coming in through a lot to help these people. And Manuel Ugarte will really connect, the midfield to the attack a lot. And I know Bruno is really going to enjoy. The other position that is really having huge doubts, having huge opinions, is the right attacking side of the midfield. Should it be Garnacho as he did it against Liverpool, or it should be Amadi Diallo? And this is where Ten Hag needs to understand it right. That however much you want to keep Marcus Rashford in the field of play and maybe field Garnacho, you saw to it that when Amadi Diallo came on, things were happening. When Garnacho was on, things were not happening. And I told you in my match reaction that Manchester United did all what they had to do. But in the first half, we had every chance that Liverpool had and scored 3 goals. But for us, we lacked an Amad Diallo who could compose himself and really find out the right pass or take on players and see to it that he creates spaces and maybe attracts other numbers of players of Manchester United into the midfield. And this is what Bruno really did wrong, Rashford and Garnacho into that first half. We had chances to penalize Liverpool, but we didn't. You understand? Meaning that when Amad is on the field of play, a lot is really going to work out our way. That's why I'm going to have to give him that nod to start onto the right attacking side of the midfield because of his creativity and what he offers to the side of Manchester United. Then on the left, that's where the big argument comes in through. Garnacho away for South America and Rashford in here. For I think Garnacho even got himself a goal into that World Cup qualifier competition. So for the side of the left, in my own understanding and belief, I would love to see Garnacho start. But I don't see anywhere how Erik Ten Hag is really going to come up and obviously bench the side called, or the player called Marcus Rashford. I don't see that. I don't see it, and I don't see it happening in here onto our side, and I think we should just bear with the situation. That is it. Let's bear with the situation because I believe it's Marcus Rashford going to be starting onto the left. And if at all Rashford is benched, I'll be really shocked. But I know the manager can even go Garnacho and really bench Amad Diallo. But I'm going to be furious, an hour to the game. And that is really going to be one of those matches that you people will be really here early to obviously see how United is obviously going to come up and really react onto that side of game and participation. Then after that, who is leading the line with no Rasmus Højlund? Obviously, it's Joshua Zirkzee. Played 1 game, scored 1 goal, and had an assist. That is Joshua Zirkzee for you. And he looks like he's going to be a very good targetsman because in the game of Liverpool, he had 3 shots at goal. 3 shots at goal, 2 were on target, and 1 was not on target. Meaning that we should just find lots of chances to look out for him, right? And that's my probable starting 11. I don't know what your thoughts are about it. Go into the comment section and tell me exactly what your thoughts are about that probable starting 11 for the side of Man United as we are paying a visit to St. Mary's Stadium. So for them, they're really having Aaron Ramsdale, I think, is going to be having a very busy day into the mix. They also have Walker Peters, him, he plays as a right back or left back sometimes. Archer, he's a striker. Then which other player is really very, very deadly? I think those 3 players are the ones that we should really be keeping an eye on. But this is a game for us to win. Let's all be realistic. It's a game for Man United to win. Now, let's go to the head-to-head stats and see what it tells us. Now, Southampton are winless in the last 14 Premier League meetings with Manchester United. 8 draws, 6 losses since a 1 win away in January 2016. So we've been beating them every time we find them. Then, secondly, Manchester United are unbeaten in their last 12 Premier League away games against Southampton with 7 wins, 5 draws since a 1-0 loss in 2003. That is August. You see, we are really having a very huge edge against this side. Then, Manchester United have only lost 1 of their last 30 Premier League games against promoted sides, and those are 22 wins and 7 draws, winning 15 of their last 17 since a 4-1 loss to Watford in November 2021. So we really have a very huge age onto these teams that are really coming in through from the relegation. Then second, lastly, Man United have come from behind to beat Southampton in 10 different Premier League games. Only Liverpool have come back wins against a single opponent in the competition history, and they're having 11 against Newcastle. So against Southampton, you've got to hit to come back 10 times. So if you see Southampton taking the lead tomorrow, just keep in mind that Man United has done that 10 times. And if at all we win it in the same fashion, then we'd have gone to do it for the 11th time into our meetings. Then lastly, Southampton have lost all 3 of their Premier League games so far this season. They could be the first side to lose each of their first 4 in 3 different campaigns in the competition, previously doing so in 1998 to 1999 and 2012 to 2013, the last time they were a promoted side. So obviously they are here to break a record, and we wait to see how things are really going to be panning out. But for me, as Rokan David, 3-1 win for the club of Manchester United. I know we can score 3 goals, though early kickstart is really hard, but I believe we have every weapon to really beat this side. If you look at the team, when it starts like that, you can have the following players on the bench. You can have Toby Collier, Casemiro on the bench. You can have Eriksson on the bench. You can have Garnacho on the bench. You can have Harry Maguire on the bench. Meaning that we can really make changes that can affect this game and really take us to where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. That's why I'm really calling in for a win of 3-1 for the club of Manchester United, especially if at all Amad Diallo starts. That is going to be a sure win for the club of Manchester United, as Joshua Zirkzee is really not going to be into a graveyard shift, as these players are going to come up and obviously create more and more chances for a player in the names of Joshua Zirkzee. So for me, all we have to do is let's not concede fast. Let's get the first goal. Frustrate Southampton. They'll open up. In the due course of them opening up, you know what happens. They'll come up and obviously put in their efforts, and their efforts will really call them to opening up. And United, when it comes to hitting you in the break, they are really great. And in that style of play that Erik ten Hag is trying to impose onto the team of Manchester United, I tell you, Amadi Diallo is really very, very important, as he's that kind of player who will hold on to that ball a lot and really create chances. By the way, for the substitutes, I had even forgotten Anthony, but for me, I don't really look at Anthony anymore. I feel like it's over for him and the club of Manchester United, unless otherwise he does the needful. And I think he has a chance to start in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday when you're playing against Barnsley, you get. And if you can use those tournaments very well, the UEFA Europa League and the Carabao Cup, I think they can help him really get his confidence. But I don't really see him getting near this team, but he can come off the bench to do the due diligence and really take himself to where we expect him to be. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about what you think the side of United should be looking like. Do you agree with that starting 11 that I'm gonna to come up with, or you are like, no, we should be getting a better starting 11 into the mix? So that's what I had for you in here onto the United Matters channel. Continue to subscribe to this channel to see that everything really moves on as planned. Rokan David is my name, and I've gone ahead to show you everything. So I'm just waiting for you guys to obviously come in through and tell us what your thoughts are about this beautiful game of football. But this is a must win for Erik ten Hag. He knows it very well, and I believe that most of you are also very optimistic that we are going to win this game of football, because we have to win this game of football, as when you look at the fixtures of Manchester United, you really get to know that we are really going to be having thick competition, because after playing against Southampton, we are going to be playing Crystal Palace away, meaning that we're going to be playing 2 away games, then host Tottenham Hotspur, and then play away at Aston Villa, meaning that our next 4 fixtures, we are hosting only 1 game at Old Trafford. So Aston Villa away is really tricky. Crystal Palace, I think we can come and overcome it, being a late game, 9:30 hours. And then when you look at the game of Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford, I think that should be a must-win. And to build the momentum to these games of Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur, the 2 last games you're going to play before you go to the international break, we obviously have to get ourselves in a proper position of really getting 3 points against Southampton and getting more 3 points against a side known as Crystal Palace. That's the only way you will see a side of Manchester United thriving and obviously getting to where we deserve to be. So guys, thank you very much for watching Through the Christians. We thank God for the gift of life, and for the Muslims, thank Allah for the gift of life. Rokan David is my name. You can also call me RD. That's what I had for you. Go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts hugely. I'll be waiting to share this with you. Bye-bye.